Titan Stadium. Boy, there are games during the course of a long regular season that carry extra significance. For the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is one of those moments. Two teams in a fight for NFC South supremacy, with the winner taking one giant step towards the NFL postseason. This is where they sit. Atlanta atop the division, but a win by Tampa Bay, and they would leapfrog the Falcons into sole possession of first place by way of the tiebreakers. And with that, we say welcome to Atlanta alongside my good buddy Adam Archuleta. I'm Spiro Ditas. We'll hear from Aditi Kinkhabwala in just a couple of minutes. Arch, you're a football fan. You can't ask for much more than this. A game for first place in the division late in the season.
Well, listen, I know that both teams are right around 500, but I'm excited for this matchup. They just haven't been able to play their best four quarters, but I do think this can be the game that strikes the match for a red-hot finish.
All right, let's dive in and talk about Arthur Smith and Atlanta. It's been a hard team to figure out, but they get the win last week against the Jets, another low-scoring affair. Offensively, still trying to find themselves. The constant has been this top 10 defense.
It has, week in and week out, and really it starts with their front five. They make it tough on first and second down. That's one reason why they are so good at their third down rate this season. Spiro, don't let them get confident, because they can just smother any offense. And they've been able to take that football away. 11 takeaways in the last 6 games. Jesse Bates, to me, is the headliner. 5 interceptions. He's had 2 in the last 2 games, including that beautiful pick 6 against New Orleans. It's hard to find a more confident player out there than Jesse Bates.
Meantime, Desmond Ridder, Arch, remember, started the first 8 games, and they sat him down for a little reset. Today makes his 3rd straight start. What are you seeing from the young quarterback?
Well, I see a quarterback that if you let him get comfortable and you let him have some time, that he can sling it and he can make some throws. The formula, Spiro, is quite simple for Ridder. Don't try to do too much. You can't give the football away. Rely on your strong running game and that defense we just talked about.
Meantime, Todd Bowles and Tampa Bay. Boy, it's been a wild season for them. They get the win last week over Carolina, only their 2nd win in the last 8 games, and all eyes continue to be on Mr. Baker Mayfield.
I think Baker Mayfield, he's been solid this year, but I believe he's got to take it up one notch here in this game and for the rest of the season. You can see that he is getting comfortable in this offense. And you know that he's a quick learner. Why? Because he's only been here 12 games, but he has quickly learned that he's got to find a way to get the football to Mike Evans, who's having a special season. Last week, 7 catches, over 165 yards. He's added the dimension of being able to run after the catch this season. He is the classic big receiver. They're going to isolate on the backside, but they've also moved him around a lot this season. He's made a lot of big plays in the slot.
Still missing some key pieces in Todd Bowles' defense, but the good news today, they get Levante David back out the last 2 weeks with that groin injury, and so Todd Bowles gets his quarterback and a headliner in his defense back into the mix. Falcons and Buccaneers with first place in the NFC South on the line in Atlanta. The kickoff just around the corner. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Here in Atlanta, Falcons win the toss, they defer, and so the Bucs will receive the football. Big one, we are set, and we say hello to Aditi Kinkhabwala. Hi, Aditi.
Spiro with first place in the division at stake. Both teams have talked up how this is crunch time. And as Falcons head coach Arthur Smith told us, in crunch time, it's all about the line of scrimmage. Of course, today, the line of scrimmage will look different for both teams. For the Bucs, it'll be Greg Gaines at nose tackle instead of the big space eater, Vita Vea. In the Falcons, though, he'll see an offensive line that features 2 new starters for the first time all year. Right tackle Caleb McGarry will not be able to go. And at center, it'll be the lefty Ryan Neusel. And Spiro, I say lefty because every other snap Ridder has taken this year, Desmond Ridder has taken, has been from the right-handed Drew Dahlman.
Yeah, Didi, that's big news. Neusel has made one other start, but it was in a jumbo package. So this really his first legit start, and it'll be the first time he's taken snaps at center. So young quarterback Arch, that bears watching how those two are able to find their chemistry. Atlanta won the first meeting back in week 7 between these two teams. A Younghoe Koo 51-yard field goal won it. How does Tampa Bay respond in a game that they just have to have as Baker Mayfield trots out onto the field to take the reins of the offense?
Well, I'm sure like a lot of, in this game at least, it's going to be nice to get back indoors and not have to endure the weather that both these quarterbacks had to endure last week. But I know it's really important, as it is every week for every team, but especially Tampa Bay, to get off to a fast start.
We'll go to the ground game here with Rachaad White, who is really starting to get comfortable in this offense. Tackled on the play by Albert Huggins. Offensive line and starters around Mayfield today. Tristan Wirfs still kind of dealing a little bit with that ankle injury a couple of weeks ago, but he was better last week. Didn't appear himself those first 2 games after he got hurt back in week 9, but Wirfs starting to look like his old self. 2-time Pro Bowl left tackle. 2nd and 4. Mayfield's going to work from the gun. Over the middle and completes. That's Chris Godwin on the catch. Godwin, of course, in the news this week. Some chatter about maybe lack of targets. Only had 4 targets last week. Only real 1 significant touch, that long 19-yard touchdown run.
Yep, there's been a number of games where you haven't really heard his name called until well into the second half. It's a much different offense than it was last year, but you see them go 3 wide receivers, put him in the slot, move him around, and in the middle is where he does his best work.
Here's White, picks up a couple here to inch a little bit closer to the 40-yard line. So defensively for Atlanta, again, top 10 defense. They've been tremendous, especially of late, but they're missing some key pieces today. No Jeff Okudah, he's out as he deals with the ankle injury, and so Clark Phillips, who's had to play a bunch of late, will make the start. No David Onyemata. We heard the report from Aditi. He's dealing with the ankle injury, 2nd game that he's missing in the last 4 weeks, and no Nate Landman. Hurt his left knee last week in the 4th quarter of that game against the Jets. So some key pieces that they are missing. A little bit of a high snap. Baker Fields on 2nd and 8 goes through his reads, completes over the middle as he finds his tight end Cade Otton. His 2nd-year target. They pick up 7, tackled by Caden Ellis to set him up with a 3rd and short.
Well, Spiro, we talked about in just a few moments ago in our open and just how good Atlanta is in their 3rd downs this season. They're 2nd in the NFL on 3rd downs. One of the main reasons why is because they're so good on 1st and 2nd in the run game that they don't get in a lot of 3rd and short situations. This is a little different than Atlanta's defense is used to defending.
Mayfield faking the handoff, fires, completes. First down Tampa Bay. That's David Moore on the catch. Moore, whom they just elevated yesterday from their practice squad. 5th-year player. He's got a ton of experience, drafted by Seattle back in 17, and he makes an early contribution.
Well, this is a really nice job by Baker Mayfield, because pay attention to Jesse Bates right here. He's dropping. Looks like he's going to drop to the middle. But when the ball snapped, he's got his eyes on Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield wants to go to Evans. He's isolated one-on-one on the backside, but Bates, after the snap, takes it away. But the protection allowed Mayfield to get it to his 2nd receiver.
Here's Rachaad White trying to slip a tackle, but unable to break the grasp of Caden Ellis. And one of the first defensive players that Baker touched on in our chat with him yesterday at their hotel was Jesse Bates. The aggression with which he plays on the back end of this defense. What a chess match it's going to be between Baker and Bates.
It's hard to say that there's another safety playing with just the confidence, the trust. He's a playmaker. His instincts. He's always been one of the top ball hawk safeties in the NFL. But to me, his instincts has even jumped another notch this year in this defense.
Mayfield on 2nd and 9. Another crosser over the middle. And this one, let's see what they're going to rule here. I believe it'll be incomplete. And now they say Trey Palmer. So it is a catch and then down by contact. So it's a pickup of 5 as Trey Palmer is credited with the catch. Let's take another look.
Yeah.
Boy, that was ruled a catch, Arch. I'm not sure. Have to survive the ground. A.J. Terrell was there. So the officials do indeed rule catch down by contact. And it's a pickup of 5.
I think that's a good call because he had clear possession. He was down, and the ball did not come out. Had no movement until it was raked out.
A.J. Terrell just clearing concussion protocol yesterday. Play clock down to 1. Baker had he play to get it out. Baker somehow escapes, tucks it away. Mayfield to spin. He's going to be short of the line to gain. Boy, the awareness of Baker as Arnold Ebukadi was there for Atlanta. What do they do here? 4th and 2. Football is down. It'll be about a 56-yard attempt from right here as Todd Bowles sends out his field goal kicker, who has been terrific this season, Chase McLaughlin. This will be a 55-yard attempt. McLaughlin on the season, 19 of 21. Good snap, good hold. The kick is good. And Tampa Bay draws first blood here in Atlanta. 55-yard field goal. And McLaughlin puts Tampa Bay in front. Every point counts against this Atlanta defense. Early stages on CBS.